Welcome to our podcast with the experts of AIX. Today I'm here with Amar Pljevljak. He's from Sarajevo, and very happy to have you here, Amar. Maybe you start with a short introduction of yourself.
Sure. Thank you so much, Mark. Very happy to be part of this podcast today.
It's a
As
pleasure.
mentioned, name is Amar Pljevljak. I am AI certified expert by IBM, also project manager by professional vocation. Managed projects for the last 14 years for different organizations and size, be it
All in AI.
startups, not in AI, project management in IT. AI is something recent that I've started investing my time in and started to really get to the expert level of knowledge into AI, applying AI into our day-to-day life and also our professional lives.
So what made you recognize at one point that AI is really a transforming model, a transforming tool that's really changing the world?
Well, it's quite simple. It is the future. Same as internet back then. When internet first started, some people were saying, "Yeah, this will never catch up," but I was too young to be part of that wave. But quite old enough now for this new wave, and everything that we see, everything that we hear, it is pointing to AI really gaining a big traction, even more than now, and being part of our day-to-day lives. When it comes to AI, anyways, we have seen some very early rudimentary adoptions by AI via the personal assistants like we have in our phones, like Siri,
Yes.
Bixby, and everything. Those were the early rudimentary additions of AI that we see today through ChatGPT and several personal assistants.
When did you come the first time? When did you first time meet AI, or when was this that you started to really focus on AI?
I would say the first notion would be maybe like a year and a half ago, when things started to basically brew a bit more to the wider audience, so to speak, not only for the early adopters, for people who are actually working on the LLMs, working on the GPTs and everything. And that's when I realized, okay, there's something more to this. It's not going to be just strictly remaining in the IT world, maybe for like data science, data engineering. It's really going to see applicability in a wide area of our lives. And what interested me especially were actually the robotic applications with AI in the medicine industry, which I found fascinating and amazing. People doing operations like thousand kilometers away just by robotics, by AI assisted technology, which is something I was really fascinated by. And that's how I actually started to delve more and learn more about AI into day-to-day world, into applications of HR, especially in project management. I wanted to see how I can use AI to help me to automate some of the mundane tasks that I have and basically make me better as a professional.
Amazing. I love to talk about use cases of AI. I think when you talk about generative AI, for example, I think everyone knows the major use cases of ChatGPT. But what are for you use cases you met in the last weeks or months where you say, wow, they are really amazing? And can you tell about a few really great use cases which probably not everyone knows?
Sure, I can gladly. I would mostly stick to my area of work, which is the project management, where I have by using agents, I basically created sort of quote unquote AI Scrum Master, which is basically doing the Scrum Master role currently. It does the daily stand-ups, it does the retrospective meetings, it gathers informations, it gives out reporting, it tells me if the team is on track to finish the things that we planned for. So it's something that I'm still developing and playing with, but that would be like the most recent use case. Then also since I am in IT based, seeing how much AI has helped my developers, my engineers in resolving tasks, automating their work, and thus gaining more time that we can then use for more complex things was really amazing. But the most recent is definitely basically creating a mini me out of AI, which is then helping me save time so I can focus on the more important stuff. And not that this is not important, but still, when it comes to priorities, you always have something of a bigger priority, of course.
How do you see the implementation of AI in companies so far? Because a lot of applications are, let's say, private applications. I think everyone is using ChatGPT at home in private life. But when you look in the companies, I think the world is still a bit different. How do you see this in the moment?
That is an amazing question because you mentioned immediately people are using ChatGPT. But the problem is people are most probably feeding ChatGPT with sensitive data for the company. Even though they are maybe not realizing it, but they are breaching the privacy rules of the company. So that's the first issue that we have. Of course, ChatGPT will help you, but you have to be wary of how you use it. The next thing is every company right now has a huge focus about AI. That's it. It's like we have to do something with AI. But not many companies even know what they want. Not many companies even know what they need. And not many companies realistically have the budget for it. Because as with every new technology, AI is, in my opinion, currently very expensive. Even though we have seen recently,
Why do you think why do you think it's expensive?
it is expensive mostly because we have a plethora of tools that they are available on the market, but you don't have the full visibility of the tool unless you start playing for it. So you have some like very low effort demos, low effort trials. But when it comes to enterprise solutions, then you actually need to pay in order to have it, right? So
Yeah.
without being 100% sure that the tool that you are being offered is actually the solution to your problem, you are just essentially wasting money, quote unquote, wasting money. So it comes down to, I'm sure you remember the difference between Android Store and Apple Store. Apple Store
Of
was
course. Yeah.
much more regulated and thus had way less bloatware and scanning applications than Android had. So
Yes.
we are currently looking at the same thing. We need to make sure that the tools that are offered to the wide world actually do what they say they do, and that the application of their tool is actually the solution to our problem. So, but anyways, back to the question. Companies want AI, but they don't really know how they want it. What does the AI need to do in order for them to be happy? So that is a great point for all of the AI experts and people who are into AI to talk with the companies, help them, consult them, and assess their situation, and then provide suggestions for the best tools that they need for those problems they have. Essentially, we're just throwing darts and hope that something sticks.
So if you take, for example, the data security, which I think is a very big issue, what you've already addressed, how can companies overcome this? So, for example, if employees want to use ChatGPT for their daily work or any other generative AI tools, how can companies make sure that whatever happens there is secure and that not the information is going to the public world?
Great question. In my opinion, what companies could do, which is also a bit problematic if the company is not IT oriented, it is they could use an open source LLM and build an in-house ChatGPT, and then create a ChatGPT from scratch, basically building it with the answers that they require and the knowledge that that ChatGPT then needs for their employees. So an in-house solution is a potential problem solver here, or just going to the enterprise solution and buying a ChatGPT enterprise account, which is then going to be like on-prem hosted and only for their needs, especially.
And this, because you said it's pretty expensive, this would be expensive, or you think this is still affordable?
Right now, it's much more affordable than it was maybe like 3 months ago.
Uh,
because with ChatGPT 4.0 releasing recently, they
yes.
have kind of cut the costs of token generation by almost 300%. So where one token was in the, I think, $55, right now it's like 350. So
Wow.
it is a huge cut that they managed to do.
Mm,
And recently I've read also they are announcing a new model, which is going to be like 10 times better than all the models combined previously. So
mm,
we'll see how
mm,
things go. And it is an amazing opportunity to be part of this, even if you are not an AI advocate, even if you don't strive to be an AI expert. It is an amazing
mm,
time where we are now because we are at the forefront of a new technology. It's going to be used worldwide. And like we are
yeah.
part of it, we can see how it evolves. And that's
Mm,
just amazing.
absolutely. So apart from the data security, I think another important hindrance, or yeah, it's the human factor. So that employees in the company simply don't want to use it. They are afraid that they might lose their job, or that it's a lot of work for them to change the processes and so on. How do you see this factor?
Uh, I'll go back to the metaphor of mobile phones. It was the same hard switch that we did, like from the classic mobile phones to smartphones.
Mm,
Change is hard,
yes.
especially a change that is advocated as this is going to be life changing. This is going to change the lives of many people. But they are right. It is going to change our lives, but not for worse. It's going to give us the possibility to save time on mundane tasks, to get better as professionals, and then together with AI. And I like to think as AI as my sidekick. So I'm the superhero in my world, and AI is my sidekick that is there to help me solve crimes and help people, essentially. And that's how we need to look at AI. AI is not here to replace humans.
Mm,
AI is here to augment the possibilities that humans already have. But the
mm,
problem that humans have is time. We do not have enough time because we are dealing with tasks that realistically can be automated. In many cases, are maybe not even necessary as a process or procedure, but AI can help us by doing those processes while we focus on the thing that AI will never be able to, and that is create.
mm,
Because essentially, everything that AI is currently doing, it is doing from information that is already accessible. So if you were good at Googling a few months ago, you should be good at creating a prompt in order to get what you need from the AI.
mm.
So it's
Yeah.
very important to advocate to people and teach them that, hey, AI will not replace you. It will
Mm.
augment you. It will give you the possibility for you to be what a human should be from start. And that is a creator and not a hamster in a wheel.
Yeah, it's a very good comparison. Um, how do you see the fact there are so many different AI tools in this market? Literally every day or every week, there are new tools coming on the market. All of them think that they have a use case or a right to exist. Do you think we need so many tools, or do you think that the big generative AI tools like ChatGPT or Gemini can replace them all?
Oh, that's tricky because do they need to exist? Is a subjective question. I think there are too many, but everybody
Mm,
has their right to try to get a piece of the cake in the current market, especially.
of
Uh,
course. Yeah.
However, what I strongly believe is we do require a sense of regulation, a sense of
Mm,
understanding, and a sense of reviewing those applications and what they offer, and making sure that the end user, be it an expert or a person just interested in AI or my mother, they should have the information if that tool is something that will help them. Because right now it is like it's a bloatware. You can
mm,
type anything, add AI to it, and you will get at least 10 different tools promising that they are the next big thing. They are not.
yes. Yes.
And I I think it's going to be just worse. Like in the next few months, we'll see even more, especially as it becomes more affordable to use the Gen AI as it is. But in my honest opinion, we do require a sort of regulatory agency which will make sure that the AI tools being sold and being offered are ethically responsible. Where am I giving my data? How is my data going to be used? Especially in Europe, as you know, GDPR is a very important thing. In the States, they have some similar things, but not at the level of GDPR. But still, it's a question, how is my data used? So it is
Absolutely.
important to have some sort of regulations in place, which will make sure that the ethics are there.
What are the main tools you are using? If you have to name 3, 4 tools, what are your favorites?
So currently, I'm playing around with Synthesia,
Uh-huh.
where I'm trying to use that like AI approach of creating reporting, which is going to be like video content based. And I am approaching it by the way of micro learning, because short stories, reels, they are the content that people are currently digesting the most. So I had the idea, why wouldn't I use that to report my progress in the work and create like small reels, which will be sent to the executives. And thus far, I'm having success, but we'll see if it's going to change. Then, of course, ChatGPT. I have to talk with my sidekick, see how it is. And yeah, recently what I also tried is audio in order to create some music for myself, just to see how that would be. But I would say definitely ChatGPT and Synthesia are my current focus points.
Perfect. So let's talk about your courses. You are preparing 5 courses for AIX. I think 2 of them are more or less ready. Can you
Yes.
say a few words about those courses, what they are about, and who is the clientele that should watch those courses?
Yeah, of course. So the first 2 courses that are going to be available on the AIX platform are AI in Business and AI
Mhm.
Scrum Master. AI in Business is going to talk about the applicability of AI in your business, trying to understand how you can assess your situation and basically do an AI readiness assessment to see where your company is and where it needs to be in order to have like a strong and good approach for AI implementation. The second course, AI Scrum Master, I briefly touched upon just when we started. It is essentially utilizing AI to do the work of Scrum Masters. Now, before the Scrum Masters get crazy, I don't think replacing them is here the solution, but helping them with those like daily stand-ups, meetings that are happening every day, which are to many people not really useful. Especially like the team members, especially if the team members are working on different projects. Um, you could advocate that I, quote unquote, don't really care about the project you are working on. I mean, we are on the same team, but our projects are so different. We are never going to work together on it. So essentially, I'm just listening to what you say, and you're listening to what I say, and it's not really helpful. So using AI as a Scrum Master with a different approach, just changing the way we do agile, changing the way we do reporting, is something I'm trying to teach the people in that course.
Amazing. Just coming back to AI in business, you said you also judge the readiness of a
Yes.
company for AI. How are you judging this? What are the questions you are asking, or how do you approach this topic?
Well, so there are 5 different steps that a company needs to like go through. It's the same with, let's say, when you want to ISO certify, if you want to get like SOC 2 certified, you do have a certain number of things that you as a company need to have done, need to adhere to in order to say, okay, we are now ready to go into the implementation of the SOC 2 of ISO. So it is with AI. It's came up with 5 different things that the company needs to go through, questions they need to answer. And according then to that readiness, then we would work together in order to finish all 5. Of course, you cannot have all 5 at the start. It makes sense, of course, something new. But it boils down to how informed you are of AI. How much do you know? Do you have like any applicability of AI currently? Assessing the situation as is, drafting a plan for the company of how they can change those things, how they can make changes to policies, procedures, way of work. And then after we have all of those things ready, we move into the implementation of AI tools. That also needs to cover knowledge transfers, need to cover training of employees, of stakeholders, of management, so that everybody buys in of the change of adding AI to their day-to-day work.
Amazing. Looking forward. I'm sure it will be great courses. What
Thank
is
you.
just on general? I think there are a lot of people watching us who now recognize what you have recognized 2 years ago, that AI is really a changing factor, and that they should now start really learning how to use AI, how AI tools work, and so on. What is your advice to, let's say, young persons, doesn't have to be young persons, but persons who are starting their AI journey just now and who really want to learn how AI works? What would be your advice to those kind of people?
The first would be to be curious. Like that's the first step. Of course, next step would be to try and connect with like-minded people through social media, be it LinkedIn, Reddit, Twitter, even Facebook. You have expert groups that are formed about people who are like-minded individuals about the implementation of AI. Start writing daily. Blog posts, article posts, they don't need to be like high-end expert oriented. It can just be your thoughts. And those thoughts will then help you to create connections with people. That's how you meet people. And nowadays, everything is remote, everything is online. You can just go like to your local cafe and start talking about AI. But think of the internet as your local cafe. So you have the possibility to connect from people in Brazil, in Japan, in China, who are like-minded individuals who would like to learn about AI. You have various numbers of forums, Reddit groups that you can use. So it's all about being curious. And the most important part that I can tell anyone is do not forget to remain critical of the information that you get.
Yeah,
Everything
that's what it
today
is.
can be AI generated. You have to be sure that the news really makes sense. So double check everything. Don't forget your critical thinking. And if you start using ChatGPT or any other GPT in this sense, do not just blindly copy paste. Make sure that what the output you have, you checked. Because once again, AI will not replace you. It can only help you. If you
Great.
allow only to do copy paste what ChatGPT does, well, then you are enabling the change anyways.
Yeah, very great advice. What's going to happen in the next 5 years? Because if I see the development of the last 1.5 years, which was so fast, and if I see what OpenAI is presenting now, what the next tools and releases will be, according to you, where is the world in 5 years' time with AI?
In 5 years' time, I don't think there will be some huge changes. So we're probably going to see, like in the next 1 or 2 years, the peak of AI right now, mostly because hardware limitations. It's the same like when supercomputers started. It was like a huge craze, huge craze. Then it came to a standstill, and nowadays we have like incremental increases. Maybe like this is 3% better, this is 4% better. So at one point we will reach the peak of what AI development gives us, and at that point we will see a bit slower approach and changes, because as with crypto is like nobody knew about it. Then it became a huge craze. Now everybody is into crypto, and suddenly different organizations, different governments started to get into it in order to make sure that people are safe. Even though it is aimed as a decentralized currency, it still needs regulations. So that's going to be happening with AI. I'm sure that in like the next 1 to 2 years, we'll see like a plethora of even more applications, even more solutions to world hunger through AI. Who knows? But what's going to happen is at one point we'll say, okay, let's stop. Let's see what we have, how we can develop this better. Right now, what we are seeing is pretty much a race between different organizations and companies trying to take the throne of, yeah, we are the like AI buddy. And that's going to come to a conclusion, a halt, and then we'll see a slow process, which is going to, in a sense, be a bigger upgrade than we have right now. Because everything that comes after that is going to be a pure upgrade, not just like another tool.
Yeah, makes absolutely sense what you are saying. Thank you very much, Amar. This was a really, really great talk.
Thank you
I think
so much.
everyone watching this interview will like it as well. I'm very happy to have you as expert on our platform. I think you are a really, really great expert for AIX, and I'm looking forward to see your courses. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure we will have another interview very soon.
Thank you, Mark, very much for the invite, and thanks everyone watching.
Thank you.